back with another episode of Men on Trek, episode 10, Shore Leave. I am Admiral Looks Good in Red, Keith, back again with my two captains, Captain James T. Palpatine and Captain Mark A. Dystrom. And if you've been paying attention, this is episode 10, and I said it's Shore Leave. Tell me in the comments if there's something wrong with that.
There's a lot wrong with it.
We're on shore leave. So original episode aired, season 1, episode 16, aired on December 29th, 1966.
Ooh.
Does that make it a Christmas episode?
New Year's episode.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
So, shore leave, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
I am late for a very important day.
A little R&R on the planet. So the episode opens up. The Enterprise has gone through what is described as 3 very trying months. They don't elaborate on what has occurred, but the crew is exhausted. Everyone is ready for a break. And they have come across a lovely planet that seems like an ideal place to take a break, but they are beamed down some survey teams consisting of Dr. McCoy, Mr. Sulu, Lieutenant Rodriguez, Lieutenant Teller, among others that we don't see, and they are surveying the planet to see if it is suitable for a little shore leave.
You left out Yeoman Barrows.
She's not down there yet.
She's now?
No, she doesn't come down originally.
Okay.
But nonetheless, this is the very first holodeck episode.
Essentially, yes. Yeah. First episode where a crew of a starship gets themselves in trouble with their dreams and fantasies.
A planet designed to bring forth your dreams.
All your desires.
Whether good or bad.
Safe or not.
Was that line a dream to some, a nightmare to others?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this would be the perfect planet, just coming out of Bread and Circuses, where McCoy says, I would love to just beam down to a planet and say,
I'm the Archangel.
I'm the Archangel Gabriel.
Archangel Gabriel. He could walk into a city and proclaim such.
Yes.
We see a lot of McCoy
in this episode.
We see an underbelly to McCoy in this episode.
He's a horn dog.
This is not new. This is not new. This is the same man when his captain went on trial in court martial.
Oh yeah.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
Who rolled up on Kirk's old girlfriend, the prosecuting attorney, and said, "Hey,
I know Jim."
There is like a fan sort of concept out there that McCoy is the ultimate wingman. Like he's right there if you need him. Yeah, but even if you don't need him, he's there.
I think he's there for himself.
Yeah, he gets the girl in this one.
Girls,
yeah.
Yeah.
McCoy is always ready. He's ready to take advantage of the opportunities.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to be particularly loyal either.
I don't know if that makes him a good wingman.
I don't think he does. That's more like an adversary. It's more like the aggressor squadron coming up on you. You got to watch out. It's like I got to hurry up and talk to her because here comes McCoy.
Which episode did you say this was again?
This is episode 10. Shore Leave.
Season 1.
Season 1, episode 16.
Okay.
Yeah. So they are surveying the planet.
Well, you're gonna skip the lower back rub.
Oh no, you gotta have
it. So Kirk back on the Enterprise. Kirk is clearly fatigued. Mr. Spock is giving him a report, and the rather fetching Yeoman Barrow is standing there giving him some sort of paperwork.
The Yeoman Barrow is my ooey.
She's your ooey?
She's my ooey.
Okay. I think she's the ooey of the episode.
She's the ooey of the week.
She's the ooey of the series.
She's the ooey of the week.
You could put her in a movie today. Timeless.
Timeless beauty.
Because remember on remember in Bread and Circuses, the slave girl? very 1950s.
Yeah.
Jane Mansfield-ish.
Yes.
Not Ewan Barrows.
Barrow fits. She's timeless.
Yeah, she could be like a Chanel model today.
Okay.
You wouldn't even blink. You wouldn't even notice. You'd be like, looks good to me.
All right. Okay. I'll leave that one alone. Find the right button.
The red alert.
It's over there somewhere.
Might want to hit it and see. Okay, so Spock points out that
I found it.
all right. Spock points out that they're all fatigued.
Yes,
They had a
extremely
hard
tired.
couple of weeks,
Yeah.
and Kirk has a knot in his back, and Yeoman Barrow proceeds to
handle it.
to apply pressure,
Yeah.
and Kirk thinks it's Spock.
Kirk
And
thinks it's
he's
Spock.
like, press a little harder.
He's like, get in there, Spock. Get
press
in
a
there.
little
press
harder. And then Spock walks around like, it's not me touching you, Jimmy boy.
Yeah. The look on Spock's face is kind of like, yeah, about that.
And as soon as Kirk finds out it's Yeoman,
He's like, whoa,
hey now.
stop.
And
Hey,
she has a sort of a weird look on her face when she's
Like, why do you want me to stop?
right.
Yeah.
See, much as we say about the 60s, clearly some things were inappropriate. And Kirk tried to toe that line. You know, when he thought Spock was working him over, it was all good. But when he found out.
A back rub is a back rub. It doesn't have to be sexual. So
It's a very intimate thing.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Back
The
rub.
foot massage is an intimate thing.
Oh, I don't know about all
Well, that was the whole premise of Pulp Fiction, was talking about the foot rubs.
Yeah.
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 That's Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not rubbing your back, though.
Look at.
So,
She's getting it.
yeah, she's working Kirk over good. Yeah, he should have gave her a tip for that.
So they come upon the planet. They're going to send down people on shore leave, but they have to first make sure the planet is safe.
Yeah.
Does this make sense though? I mean, is that what they did? You came up to a random planet and you just checked it out and you said, okay, this is where we're going to go. What about going to a star base or something?
They're probably too far out.
Yeah, in the
Okay.
in the context of this being their deep space exploratory voyage, turning around and going back to a set location probably doesn't.
Okay.
We find a nice park and sit down there.
All right. I'm good with that then. I just was, with all the facilities and everything that's going on, it just seems like, you know.
It's probably pre-Risa. You know, Risa's probably not a thing yet.
What is it?
Risa's probably not a thing yet.
What's Risa?
You don't know what Risa is?
It's a planet in the
Next Gen.
the Next Gen series.
It's the play planet.
Yeah, where they go to relax, and so
Yeah, so I don't think Risa's a thing yet.
it's like pulling the motorhome over and say, okay, this looks like a good place to camp.
Right.
So
Right.
they send down survey crews to validate or verify that the planet is not dangerous. Last thing you want to do is be having fun and step on a rock and go kaboom.
Right.
Right. Because that does happen.
It happened in another episode.
Or have plants that shoot poisonous spores,
Well, that's the same episode.
or have rock creatures that come to life, or
Yeah,
have living computers on the planet that take over.
yeah.
Yeah.
Computers that create women that touch you and you die.
I'm staying on the ship. I'm staying on the ship.
So they beam down
Play a
to
little
the planet.
racquetball.
Dr. McCoy, and you said Sulu.
McCoy and Sulu are on the planet, and they're talking about how perfect it is. It's an idyllic setting. It's just wonderful, and they can't find anything wrong with it. And McCoy says something along the lines of, all we need is a white rabbit saying that he's late for a very important date.
And voila.
Voila.
While Sulu's checking out the grass, pun intended, I don't know.
Yeah.
While Sulu's checking out the grass, McCoy sees a giant bunny with a pocket watch.
Saying I'm late for a very important date.
For a very important date.
And not soon after the giant bunny comes,
Before he can question it,
a little blonde-haired girl in a blue dress.
in a lovely British accent says, "Pardon me, have you seen a rabbit?"
Do you remember seeing this as a kid, and what was your impression?
I remember seeing it as a kid and I didn't get it. I didn't get the Alice in Wonderland reference.
I did, but I didn't understand how. I mean, I was immediately
how trippy
like,
it was.
Yeah. I mean, you get in the whole Alice in Wonderland thing in the context of how it was written. Yeah, I mean, it's the author was
Chester Cat.
The author was completely ripped when she wrote that and several other works. But before you get into the drug abuse of children stories, just in this context, I knew it was the White Rabbit. I knew it was Alice in Wonderland. I was just kind of like, whoa, McCoy. Why did McCoy just see Alice in Wonderland? Not understanding how that could even begin to be possible.
He saw Alice in the White Rabbit.
Yes.
Not Wonderland.
Oh, he was in Wonderland. Whether he knew it or not.
So, as we go forward, we see that McCoy is now shocked.
Right. He's questioning.
He's standing there.
He's seriously questioning.
He's doing the standard McCoy stare. The man does not blink. He's looking off.
He can hold that catatonic face
for a long time.
Yes, he
can. We saw it in Mirror, Mirror. We saw it in Mirror, Mirror.
And City on the Edge of Forever does it. He does it too.
Is that with Joan Collins?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a McCoy episode. This is a great one for DeForest Kelley. I mean, it's
we get a lot out of DeForest Kelley in this.
Yeah, yeah, and he's legitimately like a really good actor. I mean, you can criticize some of the cast. Over time, people criticize some people, but DeForest Kelley's pretty solid. Pretty solid.
So next thing he does is he screams for Sulu because he thinks that he's losing it himself.
Sulu, did you see that? He says, "See what?" And McCoy, the look on McCoy's face is great because he's like, "You didn't see that? I needed you to see that."
Right. I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm crazy.
Right. I needed you to see that. And they cut to, they're cut back to the ship. Kirk's talking about getting some kind of shore leave arranged, and he's not planning on going.
Right.
Well, the yeoman comes and talks to him, I think, in his ready room.
No, he hasn't got there yet. This is still on the. This is on the bridge, and they're saying, "Hey, you really need to get some rest." And they kind of bully him into going to his quarters, and he says, "Send the reports down there."
Oh yeah.
And eventually Spock will visit him down there along with the yeoman.
Okay.
But Spock's not planning on going either. So they cut to Kirk's ready room. Spock comes down there. He's talking to Kirk. And McCoy calls. And again, we find out the communications devices. This is another episode with, hey, call waiting. But McCoy calls and he says, "Captain, I saw a white rabbit." And Kirk immediately is laughing. He's like, "Yeah, let me guess. You saw a little blonde girl look at right after." And he's like, "Well, as a matter of fact, I did. And I think I may have to declare myself unfit for duty." And Kirk is completely not taking him seriously. And McCoy, what's funny is McCoy is the angst McCoy has. He's like, "No, I'm for real here. I think I have a problem." And Kirk's on the other end like, "Yeah, right."
Yeah, he thinks it's a contrivance
to get him
to get him down there. But you miss Barrows comes to the ready room first.
Right.
And has a conversation with Kirk, and Kirk explains that he's not going down.
And Spock's in the room when McCoy calls.
And Spock's in the room when McCoy makes the call.
Right.
And then Kirk gets up and he's stretching because he's tired. They're all tired.
He's had it, yeah.
And Spock makes mention that he doesn't see the logic of going to relax by running around and playing.
And he says, "When I relax, I stop expending energy."
Yeah, and I thought about that when we go, you get on a cruise, you go to the Bahamas or whatever for vacation. You come back to work and you're tired.
Oh, yeah.
You're wiped out.
That's when you're starting to mature, It's like, so now, do you do this now? So if vacation, and I'll have a vacation end on Thursday.
Yeah.
Travel days Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and then go back to work on Monday.
Yeah.
But we used to roll till 4 o'clock in the morning and then go to work.
No, I take it all. Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
I take it all the way to the end. I'm not flying back until Saturday night.
Yeah.
I try to get as much out of it. But when you come back to work, you're not at 100%.
So you don't bake in a recovery day?
No.
Oh, see.
Now, I had an individual I work with that he wasn't good for a whole nother week after his vacation.
That's a vacation.
I try to bake in a recovery day. I fly back in and then try not to have anything to do the next day.
Right.
And for those Men in Track fans who have children, who know that vacation with children are not for the parents, it's not a vacation. It's not a vacation for the parents.
It's just labor in another place.
Now, for you footloose and fancy free people, you enjoy every inch of your vacation.
Mm-hmm.
But you come back to work more tired than you were.
Are we talking to the not a parent demographic?
I'm talking in general, man. In general. So in the story, they're trying to make sure the captain gets what he needs.
And he's being stubborn.
Because before McCoy sees
the rabbit,
he makes mention to Sulu that the captain needs to come down here. He needs
rest
a vacation too, because as McCoy tells Sulu, you have your problems, I have my problems,
right.
And the captain has his problems plus 430 people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the captain, if anybody needs a rest, the captain needs a rest.
Yeah, he's carrying the burden.
He needs a break from us.
Carrying the burden.
Somebody to punch him in the face and make him happy.
Don't get ahead of yourself. Get ahead of yourself.
We'll get there.
429 children.
We'll get there. Oh, man. Before you need a Riker. Go and deal with them. You're not good for command, but just go deal with the peons.
But Spock pulls a move of biblical proportions.
Oh yeah.
Spock says, "Well, Captain, while we're discussing it,
that's a biblical. That's a biblical proportion move.
That was so cold."
Spock says, "We have a crewman."
That's Samuel and King David.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. We have a crewman whose performance rating has slipped by 0.19%.
No, he said 9 to 12%, or
9 to 12% or something like that. Yeah. He's slipped from 9 to 12%. He's irritable. He's become uncooperative. He's still performing his duties, but clearly his performance is degrading. And Kirk, before Spock could even finish running down the deficiencies, Kirk says, "Not on my ship."
Yeah, he says that's a hazard to the ship. Remember, you leave one atomic pile open.
Yeah.
Because you're tired.
I'm tired. I left the switch flipped.
Yep.
And the ship goes boom.
So in the perfect realm of David.
Yes.
You are the man.
You are the man.
Yeah. So Spock
flipped. So who is this guy?
Yep. To make sure this guy gets shore leave.
What's his name?
And
Spock says James Kirk.
Yep.
and
Kirk's caught in the trap.
And Kirk's got this look on his face like, "Really? You did that to me?" Spock's looking at him like, "I did.
Yeah.
I did.
You're going down by your own orders. No backing out now."
Well, Kirk says, because Spock says he's refusing to go or something. And Kirk is like, "When it comes to the safety of the ship, no one has the right to say no." It's like, enjoy your leave, Captain.
So long, sucker.
So long.
Spock's probably thinking, "I got the ship to myself. No stupid humans."
Yeah, Spock. I think if Spock has his way, he's going to empty the Enterprise, put it in a parking orbit, and think about whether he's going to let everybody beam back up or not.
But shore leave, I mean, they go down to the planet. The survey teams are doing their job. They're checking the flora, the fauna, make sure that there's nothing that is hazardous. Even on planet Earth, there are hazards.
Mm-hmm.
Poison ivy, poison oak. Mm-hmm. There's poisonous berries. No planet you go to is going to be completely safe.
No.
So they're going to have to make sure that there's no wild animals or anything.
No tigers.
No
lions. No samurai.
No bears.
No Japanese Zeros.
Make sure make sure that you're going to be able to survive. Because the last thing the captain wants to do is beam his crew down and have his crew get injured or killed.
Right.
Yeah.
So you send down the survey team. Once you give the thumbs up, we can start depositing people in groups, and you guys can.
So many planets in Star Trek that suck. So many.
Well, it's the possibilities. Like I said, on planet Earth, if you didn't grow up here,
right,
and someone just put you in Michigan or whichever state we might be in, and you grab a ivy or a vine, and the next thing you break out, and then you wipe your face with that hand, and you break out more. This is a natural occurrence.
Or if you beam down in the vicinity of Shaner and Davison on a Saturday night, unarmed.
But just the point, if you're going to beam down individuals to a planet, you have to survey.
You have to survey the planet, make sure it's safe.
Have to make sure it's safe.
I was with Jim initially. I had to think about it. It's like, why are they beaming down to some random planet? It's like, oh no, they're in deep unexplored space. They can't just diddy bop back to the starbase.
Right.
But
you would think too, the initial scans were like no life forms at all.
Yeah.
No insects, nothing.
Right.
You would think something's wrong with the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you beam down. This was something that hit me about the episode that I never thought about before. We'll get to it later, but especially when you beam down and the place is lush and green and there's fauna and there's a certain balance in nature. It's like there's no animals.
Yeah, but it makes sense though because as we learned through the episode that things are being engineered in real time.
Right.
So the first thing you'd want to see in your scanners is nothing.
Right.
And then that's like you get beamed down there. Yeah, greenery. You go down there and it's like, oh, there's flowers. Shouldn't there be bees? And then at that moment, a bee would appear.
Well, what hit me about that fact after when we watched the episode now, they scanned their brains before, as soon as the Enterprise pulled into orbit, or even before,
right?
Even to set the setting of the planet so that they'd be happy.
Forgive us. This is once more a deep dive into Trek writing and the universe building. But
yeah.
They would have to have been scanned before because they're looking down and they're not looking at lava. So whatever ship came by,
right,
and whatever that crew was looking for,
right,
they would see on this planet. So if you're part of the rock people,
so a Gorn ship will cruise by and see
a big arena.
a Gorn ship will cruise by and it'll be a big octagon and plenty of contestants.
That's right.
Planet Hulk, baby. But so they're doing their survey.
Do Gorns fantasize about moving more than 3 miles an hour?
the Gorn dream of electric sheep.
Yeah.
So they're doing their survey, and McCoy sees what he sees.
Sees the rabbit.
And then he lets Captain Kirk know, and Kirk thinks, as we said, it was a placebo just to get him down. And Spock flips a switch, and so Kirk has to come down. Now, he beams down with his
Yeoman Barrel.
Yeoman Barrel.
I would.
As
Oh, you said this is your ooh-wee.
That's my ooh-wee.
And
your total ooh-wee in Trek or your ooh-wee of the week?
Total.
Really?
Yes.
You don't think there's another one who's a little bit more ooh-weeer than
the mirror?
Well, yeah, that's mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Marlena Monroe?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. See, I'm not bringing Marlena home though. Like we going to the club and we having fun. No, Yeoman Barrow's coming home to meet Mama.
No, Marlena's a keeper for me.
Oh, really?
Keeper. Yeah, keeper. Total keeper.
She got a lot of miles on her.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's all right. It's all right. She been a captain's woman. She can be an admiral's woman.
Okay.
But speaking of which, when prior to our hero beaming down with his shapely yeoman, we have Lieutenant Rodriguez and Teller. And he's busy working, and she's kind of wishing he would pay a little more attention to her.
Isn't that the way?
And that is always the way.
Yeah.
And
Trying to get the job done.
And she was not uninteresting herself.
We see that a lot, though. We saw that in what was the episode with Balance of Terror.
Balance of Terror.
Oh yes,
Where you've got the young woman who's kind of wanting more, and the guy who's kind of wrapped up in his work, and they always kind of portray that ancillary couple as like
that's the 1960 writing.
We get wrapped up in our work. We get a little wrapped up in our work.
The woman wants more attention, and the man is all about work.
Yeah. Now, there's a dichotomy.
As I said, 1960 writing.
There's a dichotomy there. We're wrapped up in our work because we want to give stuff to her, but
McCoy doesn't seem to be very wrapped up in his work.
Well, his work is anatomy. So
he's examining and making sure you're running at top proficiency.
Yeah, he's a doctor. He's here to help you.
He's a peeping Tom in this episode.
Well, he tells her. So, but nonetheless,
yeah.
So the two ensigns are having a conversation, and she wants more attention. He goes, "Hey, I want this report
done for the captain. Or you'll be sorry."
Yeah, we don't want to hear Captain go off or beam down and not have a report. And this is another point we see in Enterprise. The Enterprise is a very well-run ship.
Right.
It's a very well-run ship. Most people on the Enterprise are self-starters.
Yeah.
I don't think they would be there very long.
Right.
Kirk wouldn't put up with them if I got to get up and I got to Barkley you every 5 seconds.
Yep.
Well, our good friend Esteban Rodriguez kind of subtly lays it out. He says to be late with a report is not good.
Right.
Yeah. So
to the point where he's ignoring the cuteness next to him. He's like, I got to scan plants. I got to get this thing done because I'm not getting in trouble.
And then Kirk and Barrow
beam
down, and the first thing Kirk says to Rodriguez is,
"Stop working."
No, he says, "Is your report done?
Is your report done?" Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. So okay, send it up to Spock and
start having fun.
Start enjoying yourself.
Start having
After
fun.
The work is done.
Yes, get the work done.
For all you, what generation is it now?
There's Z's running around. There's millennials.
All you Z's.
Get
your work done first. Do your homework.
There's Xers. There's Xers and there's boomers still lurking about.
Before you go out and play, do your homework.
We love you all.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think we should do the hippie episode.
Didn't you just watch it?
Back to Eden?
Yeah.
Or Return to Eden?
It shows a picture of Kirk being part of the machine, which I mean part of the system.
The establishment.
There's probably a way. I mean, we haven't done this because I don't think we wanted to, just change the way that we think of those episodes. But there probably there's probably a ranking out there of which episodes are the fans' favorite.
Absolutely. There's tons
of ranking of matters greater than Men on Track's ranking.
Well, of course.
No, I agree with you, but there's literally multiple.
We don't care about that.
Top 10, top 15, top 20 episodes. They don't agree. Well, certain episodes always float to the top, but actual ranking is hotly debated.
The only ranking that matters is ours.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And we hope you agree with ours. But if you don't, hey.
But I'm wondering if
I'm great.
I wonder if the Eden episode where that lays.
I don't think
it's almost worth going out and looking at some of the lists. I doubt it cracks the top 10 anyway.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised.
Once again, it's like Bread and Circuses. It's not an episode that's good on its own per se, as much as what it tells you about the universe.
It's exposition.
Yes.
It's episodic and it's exposition.
Yeah.
It's creating knowledge for future episodes and references for the past. So
yeah. Now, that being said, there's somebody out there. It's their favorite.
You think so?
Law of averages. Somebody out there.
Think so?
It's their favorite.
Not on this planet.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. If you're out there, please
hit it. If you're one of those groovy space hippies, hit us up in the comments and tell us why Return to Eden is your favorite
I would love
episode.
to know why Return to Eden
it could have been in the 60s, 66, 67 when this
definitely.
was shown that there were people that were age appropriate for that episode.
Yes.
That's probably the episode they might have related most to.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
because that episode is a lot, and we're not talking about that episode, but it's a lot about the rebellion against the system.
Yeah.
So let's move back to Shirley because it's about relaxation.
Yeah, I mean, we decided episode 10 should be about relaxation. You know.
So where are we in the story, oh great Admiral Redshirt?
Well, Kirk's been waylaid into beaming down by Mr. Spock, and Kirk has said, "Commence au festival." He has commanded fun.
And then a 38 round
Not yet.
echoes out.
Because
No?
he finds McCoy, and McCoy's like, "Jim, I really did see a rabbit."
Oh yeah, that's right.
And they find giant rabbit tracks.
Rabbit tracks.
And me personally, at this moment, I know there's like contractual things. Me personally, I needed a guy in a floppy hat with a shotgun to show up and say,
Almighty Elmer.
and say, be very quiet.
But those rabbit tracks are huge.
Yeah. But I needed Elmer right at that moment myself.
That would have been your contribution to the shore leave.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd have been thinking about Elmer for
A little dumpy guy with a big head and a hunting hat, running around with a double barrel shotgun.
Yeah, that'd have been it.
My goodness.
And mayhem would have ensued.
Yeah, see, you would have caused someone to lose their life.
I don't hunt, and now I'm questioning that. Would you shotgun on a rabbit? Would there be anything left?
No.
Use pellets. Yeah, you use pellets.
Really?
Use game shot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bird shot.
What do I know?
Small shot.
Yeah, you could, or shoot them with a 22.
No, actually, with a rabbit, you want the little pellets because you don't do as much damage. Trying to get some meat off those bones.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you go. The Elmer Fudd thinks.
Yeah.
Thanks for fixing that, fellas, because I was wondering about that.
So they see the rabbit tracks and old Admiral.
Well, they begin to follow said rabbit tracks. Now, while they're following ye old rabbit tracks,
Gunshot.
They do hear good old fashioned gunshots.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they actually we see it. The Rock lift up
and display and provide the gun.
And provide the gun.
Mm-hmm.
A gun on a planet that had no refined metals.
No energy sources.
No energy sources
no
initially. No life. No bees. No animals.
Motor cars.
No birds.
Not a single luxury.
We see things appearing that should not be there according to the scan.
Like Robinson Crusoe. As primitive as can be.
See, I would do the same thing. If I just found a gun and I was out in the wilderness, I would truly see if it would fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if I would stand there and then just, keep pulling the trigger like Sulu did, but.
Well,
Sulu's an aficionado.
He's a weapons aficionado.
Yeah.
I too.
He
was in a duelist stance almost.
Yeah, he's having a ball.
Yeah.
I too wish Glocks came out from under rocks.
I don't want a Glock.
I want a Glock from a rock.
HK.
I want an HK from a
rock.
Tree. Yes, I want HKs to grow on trees.
But this is an interesting thing. You don't know it yet, but it's a planet that's a holodeck, and it's providing you stuff. And this what's so interesting about it. There's no safety limiters.
No.
The thing you fantasize about could be the death of you.
Not even fantasize. Random thoughts were occurring.
Yeah,
because
if you looked at it, if we took a toll, if we counted up how many would be like happy things and how many things are dangerous things, there was a lot more danger.
Yeah.
Well, Sulu's,
I didn't see Sulu. I mean,
Sulu's gun wasn't because he wanted to shoot anything. He's a collector,
right?
Like, man,
he was thinking about. What he was thinking about an old 30s issue police special 38 revolver and it appeared.
Yeah.
Voila, you got one.
Right.
Yeah.
You got one.
But the subsequent fantasies that become reality, a lot of them are dangerous.
Yeah, but some of them are stray thoughts.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you have to go down further in, but
we're almost there. Someone's going to scream.
Sulu's shooting. And Kirk runs. There's a lot of running in this episode.
There is a lot of running.
And Sir William, he's putting it down.
This is season 1. He's in shape.
He is booking it.
Yeah.
The green girdle shirt has not appeared yet.
Yeah.
This is season 1. He's in shape.
He's booking it.
Everybody's in shape.
There's a lot of running. McCoy's running. Sulu's running.
Barrow's running.
So they run over to where Sulu is firing like a madman.
Yeah. Cranking off more than 6 shots.
He does not have any ammo limitations.
No, ammo. Now that's a real fantasy.
The gun appeared.
It's like Schwarzenegger in Commando.
Yeah.
With the
Hollywood clip.
growing ammo belt.
So he's just firing away. Bam, bam, bam.
We should have counted the shots to see if he got off more than
I
6.
think there was 4.
But
I'm going with 4.
I think Kirk uses 3 later on, but
he does use a few. They arrive and find Sulu enjoying himself shooting at the greenery.
And he lets the captain know that, I just found it.
And Kirk looks at his errant child and says, "Give me that."
Right. Sulu was hesitant.
Sulu's like, "You can't have my.
I'm not giving it
You
up.
can't have my classic revolver."
Yeah, well, it was almost like, well, what do you want with it?
Right.
I found it.
Sulu's
It's mine.
Are you going to give that back to me?
It's my own. It's my own.
It's my precious.
It's my precious.
Kirk very much.
That's why that would be Captain Daystrom on that planet.
Yeah.
They'd have the one ring. What's this?
One to dominate.
Yeah.
I am great.
You're great. I'm great.
Yeah.
Oh, they're mighty starships.
We're invincible. Look what we've done. Your mighty starships.
Turn it up a little bit. Slide it up a little bit. There you go.
Oh, my goodness.
So, yeah.
Do you really?
Captain Daystrom fantasizes about the one ring, and I'm late for the transporter. I'm getting out of Dodge before he...
Yeah, look. Sulu thinks about a gun that it actually functions. I mean,
hey,
if you have a crew member that's off his rocker, you got. Well, you would have problems on the ship again.
But that's the point of this is that they're all pretty stressed out.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah. And any random thought is materializing.
Yeah.
I mean, if this goes forward, if the rest of the crew beams down to the ships, somebody beams down and meets themselves on the planet and wonders why they're already there because somebody was thinking about it.
It's going to look like.
Why are there two?
The other Star Trek series where Geordi LaForge goes into the holodeck.
That was so creepy.
And creates that
was
female
so creepy.
engineer and falls in love with her.
And she's a real person.
She's a real person that shows up. Oh my!
That's so creepy.
Or the one where Barclay creates his fantasy
where he's dominating the rest of the crew. Yeah.
Dominating Riker.
I wouldn't have a holodeck on my ship. That's bad.
But you got a planet.
But hey, the planet's a controlled environment.
This planet needs to be quarantined.
But there's an interesting thing. In this episode, they find this planet and they work out how to deal with it. They don't take it away. Theoretically, this planet is still around in the later shows and people are accessing it.
It might have become Risa.
It should have become Risa. I mean, that makes Risa the most fun place in the whole universe.
Yeah, but let's go through the episode.
Right.
We're going to get there. So Kirk takes the revolver away from Sulu.
Hurting his little feelings.
Yep.
And then screams.
And once more, they're running.
There's lots of running. Yeah.
They run over to Yeoman Barrow because...
Oh, wait. I forgot something.
No, she's with them.
She's with them, but Kirk splits them up.
Right.
He sends her and Sulu off to find McCoy. No, to find Rodriguez, I believe. And McCoy and Kirk are going to track the rabbit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they part ways.
So she doesn't scream here.
No. She's about to.
They go to part ways.
Yeah. And they track the rabbit. And when McCoy and Kirk pick up the rabbit tracks and the little girl's tracks, Kirk's going to backtrack the girl. McCoy is going to chase the rabbit. But while they're doing that, Kirk recalls the academy. Kirk recalls his nemesis, Finnegan. Yes.
And there he appears.
Yeah. Shortly thereafter, Kirk and McCoy split up. And Kirk walks a little while, and there he is.
Oh, Jimmy boy.
Hello, Jimmy boy. It's me, Finnegan.
No, but we got to go through
So it's
Kirk's recollection.
Yeah.
We can't skip that.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'm just amazed that McCoy's thinking of Alice in Wonderland, and Sulu's thinking about a gun, and Kirk's thinking about a guy he always wanted to punch in the face.
Yeah.
So Kirk and McCoy, they're talking, and he's
His
like,
school bully.
how he was when he was in the academy.
Yeah.
And he was a very earnest,
Severely serious guy.
serious guy. And in one
Kirk
episode,
says I was grim.
Yes.
Right.
Grim.
Yeah.
and one individual said in a different episode that he was like a walking book.
Yes, he was just super student. Super serious.
So he
focused.
had somebody picking on him,
Yes.
an upperclassman who was
Finnegan.
the practical joker. As
Yes.
Kirk would say, this is the type of guy
Put a bowl of soup in your
Put a
bed.
bowl of soup in your
bucket
bed,
on
a bucket
on an open door.
over an open door,
Open door.
who would just pick at Kirk constantly.
Yes.
And as Kirk is remembering this and his desire to get revenge, I'm saying, Finnegan appears. And then
Finnegan is Kirk imagines him
Finnegan as Kirk
in all his aggravating glory.
imagines him.
Well, Finnegan greets him, walks up to him, and punches him in the face.
Yep.
Yes.
So come on, Jimmy boy, you've been wanting this.
And Kirk just starts to smile.
Yeah. Kirk's like, it's Finnegan.
I can see Kirk saying, I've been wanting to beat the taste out of your mouth
For 15 years.
for a long time.
15 years.
And I get to get my revenge.
Where do you think Finnegan is now?
That's what I wanted to know. Finnegan should be like Captain Finnegan somewhere minding his own business.
No, that's if he made the grade without messing up.
He probably graduated.
He probably captain of a garbage scow.
He's out there aggravating somebody.
Nah, not with his personality.
I always wanted them to do that. I always wanted them to, some later movie or episode, slide in Finnegan. Like, there he is. He's a real guy. He exists. Slide in Finnegan somewhere.
So there's Finnegan. And
just when Kirk's getting ready to enjoy himself,
We hear a scream.
we hear a scream.
Scream.
Yeoman Barrow is in trouble.
Yeoman Barrow. Where was Sulu?
Don't know.
Sulu was there,
Right.
and then
He goes.
They separated.
He goes to chase
yes,
the individual according to Yeoman Barrow.
Yes.
yeah.
So she's fantasizing of the beautiful zoo
Well,
area, and
Wait, there's more running.
yeah, of course.
There's running.
There's more running back across the glade and over the hill and dale, and
Yep.
everybody's getting their cardio in.
So they, so they get to Yeoman Barrow, and her dress is
Her
torn.
uniform is torn.
Yes.
She looks like someone attempted to
Have their way.
have their way, seize the moment, so to speak.
And
And-
she's got these big tears running down her face.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your ooh-wee had a hard time.
She did.
Did you want to save her, Jim? You wanted to be there at that moment and help her out.
I don't know if I would save her, but
He was done. He's Don Juan.
maybe I was Don Juan. Yeah.
Is Don Spanish for Jim?
Now think about this. It is the concoction of her mind
Yes.
that came and ripped her
Well,
uniform.
There's the problem. It comes out when she explains how the thought process went. She's looking at the idyllic setting and thinking it's like a fairy tale. And in her mind, she went, all you need now is Don Juan. And there's where she wasn't careful.
But I guess I still don't know enough about Don Juan. Don Juan went around physically grabbing women. I thought he was all about charm.
No. The Don Juan story is he was this charming seducer type dude. The Don Juan reality was he was more of a kind of a forceful kind of guy.
I didn't know that.
And I think that's where she went wrong. She just thought about Don Juan.
And so
And she got
the true Don
Juan. Yeah.
Not what she was fantasizing,
No.
but the Don Juan that is in her mind according to what the story actually is.
So I'm wondering if the technology on the planet is that they know they're going to get bits and pieces. They probably scan the data banks on the Enterprise.
They would have to.
and they
have
would
to.
know all the stories
Or-
within the culture.
Or I don't know. I got the impression they're pulling it directly out of people's brains.
Yeah.
Whatever you've got in your brain about the individual is what you get.
That's what we keep seeing, the little antenna.
Yes, they're getting scanned.
That's to imply.
I didn't even remember that. When I saw it pop up, I was like, "Is this part of the remastering?"
Oh yeah.
No, the little antenna was always there.
Mm-hmm.
The television antenna.
Yeah, they couldn't pick up nothing.
Barely
pick up UF.
You remember those UHF antennas used to be up on the chimney?
Yeah.
Yep. That's what it looked like. Mm. So she screams, and everybody gets there. And they say Sulu has gone to chase Don Juan. What struck me about this moment, Kirk has not fessed up about Finnegan.
No.
And Kirk could be putting this together. Kirk could be shedding some light on this right now, but he hasn't fessed up that old Finnegan is lurking about. It's just something that struck me.
He's a captain. He's putting it together in his own mind. He doesn't have to tell you about it. You're not the captain, Admiral.
And people are oversharing anyways.
I want my subordinates to tell me.
Your subordinates. He's the captain. He don't have to tell anybody anything. He's taking the information in and processing it.
If we beam down to a planet and I see my high school crush, I'm gonna let you know.
Oh, you won't.
See, I don't think you're.
You won't.
Oh, yeah,
I think part of the problem here is people are oversharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is part of the problem because the things that people fantasize about start appearing in other people's heads.
Right.
Around them.
Right.
Yeah, affecting them.
Because you was too busy sharing your dirty, nasty thoughts. Admiral Red Shirt. Take that favor. But this is a problem. It's not just the holodeck. It's beyond the holodeck because holodeck.
It's worse.
You actually
have to program that in,
right? You got to program it in. This thing is this planet is taking things out of the minds of individuals.
If we looked at the Freudian model of this, it taps into your id. Good or bad.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Your desire, whether it's good or bad.
Well,
doesn't care.
That's the problem with it. It's just taking that raw, random thought right off the top of your brain, and there you go.
Yeah,
and that would not be good for a lot of people.
If you saw a flower and thought killer bees,
killer bees,
you would get killer
coming
bees.
Up. Well, speaking of flowers, our heroes separate again. Kirk's
chasing Finnegan.
Has he started chasing Finnegan at this point?
Yeah, he's chasing Finnegan.
Well, he's looking for Sulu. He's looking for Sulu, and he sees flowers.
Yep.
And you mentioned flowers, but Kirk didn't think of killer bees.
Nope, he thought of a flower.
Kirk sees flowers and thinks of Ruth, and there she is.
What do we know about Ruth?
Nothing.
15 years. It's an academy days.
She seems older.
Yeah.
She does, but he says she looks the same.
I know. So I'm wondering if he was 20 and she was 35.
I didn't think she was that much older. But
I think so.
You sure? You sure this is a Mrs. Robinson thing in Kirk's
I think so.
Yeah. Well, he said 15 years, so this is back at the academy. This is Finnegan.
She don't look like no academy.
This is Finnegan by day and Ruth by night.
That means Kirk could be about 19 years old.
No, he's probably 20. He's probably 20.
No, Finnegan's upperclassman. I will put him at least a year behind Finnegan.
He's probably 21 still. You're not getting out of the academy yet.
No, in the academy.
That's what I'm talking about.
In the academy 15 years ago.
Yeah. Kirk's probably 21.
Because when Finnegan punches, he goes, well, we haven't gotten there yet.
He says, I'm still 20.
Ruth is not 20.
No, she's not. She's grown.
She's grown.
She's a big grown girl.
Yeah.
Well, the writing and what actors they could get.
No.
When you can get Barrows, you don't need Grandma Ruth.
Okay.
No.
Right.
Nothing wrong with Grandma
All
Ruth.
Right, so Kirk had a Mrs. Robinson face.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Yeah. See, his academy days couldn't have been that bad. That's what I'm saying.
If you got Finnegan picking on you every day,
she seems almost like royalty to me, though. There's something about her that's just. Seems a little unattainable.
The carriage was really just on 10. I mean, the way she carried herself was
yeah. Those were his thoughts. He wanted to see Ruth again.
Now, what's interesting here is, I guess you can chalk it up to his fatigue. He lets go. He's gone for a minute. The fantasy.
Oh yeah.
The fantasy has overtaken him.
Yeah, he slides right down the hole. He's talking on the communicator, and it sounds like he's impaired.
Yeah,
he's not paying
He's
attention.
gone.
Yeah.
He manages to stammer for Rodriguez to gather everyone in the glade, and he doesn't have any intention of leaving Ruth right at that moment.
But once again, this goes back to the themes that we always touch on as the writing, is that there would be a public outcry about how little we know about Ruth today. Like, I know her name, and I know that they knew each other in the past, but I know nothing else. I've got to fill in all the blanks.
Well, it's like you said before, modern story, they do a full-on Academy flashback.
Yeah.
And you'd find out exactly who Ruth was, and you'd see Finnegan. And
they would think it would be necessary for the story, which in reality it is not.
Because she's not wearing a uniform.
No.
I don't believe she's in Starfleet.
Nope.
If she is, he's remembering her off duty.
Right.
He's definitely remembering her off duty.
Finnegan's got his Academy thing on.
Yeah, he does.
Shiny silver cadet shirts.
Yep.
Shiny for a while. It's covered in dirt and blood.
So
But Kirk has given in. Ruth's got him.
For a while.
Until
right.
Mr. No Fun calls.
Wasn't it Rodriguez, right?
No, right. He's already talked to Rodriguez. Spock calls right after Rodriguez and does the one thing that's going to snap Kirk out of his revelry. Tells him the ship is in trouble.
That's right. Yeah.
Captain, I've scanned a power source.
Yep.
And it is draining the ship's power.
And messing with communication.
Yep. That's all it takes.
And now Kirk is back on the hunt. Kirk is back on the hunt because he's got to go see about his ship. Otherwise, I think Kirk was done. I think Ruth was going to be the focus of the day.
I almost think that Ruth died.
I didn't get that vibe.
Yeah, he wasn't looking at her like he was like, "There's no way you can be here," and things. I think I don't know.
I think it was just a sheer of I might
actually go look for Ruth after we get done. Like I'll Google Ruth and see what I can find out about her.
I
didn't even remember Ruth. Like I remembered Finnegan and I remembered a lot of that. But when I saw her, I was like, what's this?
You blocked out a lot of this episode. Jay.
It's not on your top 10. Other than Finnegan. That's the only thing he remembers.
No, I remember Yeoman.
Well Finnegan strikes a deep chord. I mean,
but once again, after Ruth, they cut to McCoy. And McCoy and Barrow are talking.
Yes.
Talking about the fantasy and how great it is.
Yes.
And her shirt is, of course, her uniform is torn. And she goes, you know what a girl needs
in an environment like
this.
An
environment like this.
Yeah.
And she needs a high hat and
she says
dress.
She needs to be dressed like a princess of the realm.
And so let me just say there's a lot wrong with this scene, okay? Because this is a woman that has just been physically assaulted by a man.
Not from McCoy's point of view.
Who was physically assaulted by a man in tears. Her dress has been ripped. And the next thing you know, her and McCoy are looking at each other like, like they're on a prom date.
Yeah.
The
emotional change is too quick.
Absolutely. And she's like, shouldn't I be wearing something pretty? And he's like, well, if you did, I'd look at you. And she goes, is that a promise?
But this is 1960 writing, and they have to move the story along.
Yeah.
Trek is, as much as we love it, Trek is not perfect.
I feel like McCoy just put a cigarette out. Like he just.
Well, I said that a couple episodes ago. That's the one thing they don't do on this show is nobody yanks out a cigarette.
And nobody's tattooed.
Oh,
bring it up.
I just thought about it when Beryl's shirt was torn. How much of her upper, the dress, how much of her shoulders and stuff are visible, and there was no tats.
Are you thinking of the odds of someone bearing their shoulder now and not having some ink?
Yeah,
God.
Can't look anywhere, and they're inked up, man.
Well,
inked
I don't
up.
like it.
if you don't have, all right.
You
all
like
right.
inked?
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go.
Not on me. I don't like it
Captain's-
on me.
I'm
The only
calling-
reason I don't like it on me is because I've never seen an image that there was this old saying when I was a kid. It was like getting married and having kids is one thing, but a tattoo is permanent.
Okay, I'm calling.
I'm not.
I'm calling.
A fan.
I'm
of
calling a captain's mass. Post for Jim if ink. Post for Mark. Knowing.
Oh, I know.
I'm calling a captain's
I know
mass.
I'm outnumbered. This
No.
generation
Let's just see.
loves
No,
ink.
let's
You
see
haven't
what
seen
happens.
you haven't seen like those sleeves that are done and everything?
Those things are awful.
Let's see
Oh, I
what.
love
Let's see
that
what
stuff.
happens.
Oh,
Did you know? You want me to go? I'm gonna go with this. So this is so. I don't know if this is true or not, but people can tell us if it's true or not. So years ago, I had a friend, and he unfortunately had a friend who passed away, and they were gonna send her to Japan, where they would take her tattooed skin, and then put it into like a mural. And then send it back.
what?
Whoa.
So you could keep
What?
the
Their actual
mummified skin of the tattoo.
Oh, that's gross.
No,
That's
I'm not.
gross.
Yeah.
No, I'm good with a picture.
That's
I'm
gross.
good with my happy memories.
I think that's true. I think it's true. I've always believed that it's true that you could do
I'm
that.
good
So.
with a picture in my cherished memories.
Oh,
I'm
thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You don't want a little piece of skin that says
No,
mom on it?
no,
Hang it over your
no.
bed?
No.
No. I
Oh.
love you guys to death, but all of you is going in the box. All of you. Just every bit. I'm not keeping.
Maybe.
All right, let's move
So-
away. Let's move
Well,
away.
wait a second. So maybe what we do is for 1,000 subscribers, we go get a tattoo.
Oh, hell no. That ain't happening.
We go get the little.
A million of you can subscribe, and I will not get a tattoo.
No.
Get-
Wait.
Get a
No.
Wait.
No,
get
ain't
an
no way.
enterprise
Hear me out.
Ain't no
insignia.
hearing you out.
Hear me out.
I am
Hear me
not
out.
getting a tattoo.
I know you're not. Hear me out. I'm the admiral. I have an idea.
Okay, go ahead. You can get that tattoo.
No.
That big forehead.
No. This has to stay smooth. But
It'll still be smooth. With tat goes
Listen.
under the skin.
listen. When we hit not 1,000, 2,000,
Mm.
2,000 subscribers.
You're getting a tattoo.
No. Somebody's getting an MOT tattoo. Somebody.
Well, if it's not me and it's not you,
Somebody.
that leaves two
No.
other people.
No.
Oh, you mean somebody in the audience?
Somebody is getting
In
an
the
MOT.
audience, okay.
No, I didn't say in the audience.
Well,
Somebody's getting an MOT tattoo,
okay.
and we'll post photographic evidence.
I don't know how you're gonna fold. Well, all right.
I have a plan.
Let's move beyond that.
I have a
Talking
plan.
about a false
Trust.
tattoo. I can get a Sharpie and write.
No.
All right.
Go
So
put some ink down
McCoy and Barrels are having a conversation, and she's fantasizing about the
about the
dress,
princess dress.
about being a princess, because this area is just so beautiful.
Yes.
And she gets the dress, and McCoy goes,
It looks more like a milkmaid's dress to me. I don't know.
"No, it's got
princess.
the hi hat. It's a
Yeah,
high
take the
ladies.
hat
It's a high ladies hat.
It's a classic.
So
They usually do pretty well with period costumes. That costume to me didn't look right.
well, neither here nor there. I want to get into the thought behind
Just
it.
like
Gotcha.
seeing her in red.
She wanted to look like a princess, and McCoy throws himself out there as being the protector.
Not yet.
No, this is the thoughts that run.
But-
She
Right.
puts on the outfit,
Right.
and she's
You're-
she's prancing around like the
Right.
princess.
Yeah, but
And McCoy,
you're skipping over all McCoy's lechery.
all right, run it down then, Admiral.
They
'Cause
have
admirals have their own personal transporter pad where women can come and go.
you should strive to be an admiral someday. So they're walking and talking, and she's completely forgotten her trauma, as pointed out.
Mhm.
And she says, "I should be dressed as a princess of the realm."
Does that mean her trauma was not true?
No, it means it was only an hour in the episode.
Yeah.
And McCoy says, "And I would definitely look at you." She says, "Is that a promise?" And there it is. The dress is hanging on a tree. And with a lot of encouragement from our boy McCoy, she goes to change.
She says, "Don't look."
Don't look. And he says, "My dear girl," with his eyebrow cocked very Spock-like.
Yeah, it was very Spock-like.
Very Spock-like. But the look on his face was not Spock-like. He was feeling a lot of emotions, I think.
Big old feelings.
He had a lot of feelings. I think he was feeling something. He says, "My dear girl, I am a doctor. I only peek in the line of duty."
My job is anatomy.
He turned, his job is anatomy. And he turns away, sort of.
He tries. His eye keeps wandering back.
Well, his communicator goes off.
Yep.
And then he's got to look, right? I mean, so McCoy gets the call
From Hernandez.
from Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Comms are going bad. They're having trouble talking, and we find out Rodriguez's first name is Esteban. And she comes out having changed, and McCoy's like, "Wow," and all of a sudden he's not hearing Esteban anymore, and he's like, Esteban, and he doesn't hear her. And they cut to Esteban and tell her, and the reason our boy is so quiet is because for some reason a tiger has appeared.
Somebody thought of it.
Somebody thought of a kitty cat.
So where is Teller's head in this? So she wants more attention from him, so she dreams up a
Something to
12-foot Bengal tiger.
Something that he has to protect her from because she's snuggled in.
He doesn't look like he was doing much to protect
Neither
her.
one of them know.
It doesn't
all
matter.
that yet.
It doesn't matter. It's what's in the mind of the individual. She wants to be protected, to get him to embrace her. She concocts a villain,
I have a different
which
question.
is an animal.
All right.
I have a different question.
No, just bear with me and tell me whether or not my theory
I'm-
of going drive-bys are correct or not.
I'm bearing with you, Baloo.
So
Tell me about Shah Khan.
So she concocts in her mind the animal that he will protect her from, and there it is. It's a Bengal tiger. She's probably thinking, man, it wouldn't be bad if there was something that roared or something, so I could get close to him and get his attention.
Maybe she
And
was
then
just thinking they were in a jungle-like
and then-
environment.
Next thing, boom, tiger. And she's snuggled up, and he's calling for help, although he's got a phaser.
That's my problem.
Well, I'm okay with that because we know at this point there's issues. I believe he probably pulled a phaser and it didn't work, and then he put it back.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, I think
No, that's possible
think
because that's what happened with Sulu.
I think Esteban was gripped with fear and he forgot to go for the phaser.
Nah, I don't.
I can't abide that.
I don't think so. We don't know that for sure.
Calling Esteban a chicken.
So McCoy's talking, trying to get through to Esteban, but the energy drain is taking the
taking over.
communicators out.
Right. And then they cut to our boy Sulu making his way.
Yeah,
Making his way because he's got the call too.
right.
And Sulu
On his way back.
encounters the obvious trapdoor, which was always obvious in that episode. You could always see it before.
Was
it
that
opened.
the samurai?
Yeah.
And a samurai comes out.
Wearing
And Sulu
gray sweatpants.
and Sulu responds appropriately.
You know, I wonder if
Oh,
that was a
man,
1960s like censorship because samurai didn't wear really
No, they had pants.
They had clothes.
They
Yeah.
had pants.
They did.
when they wore armor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The skirts of the armor came down pretty deep, and then they would have shin guards, but they had pants.
Okay.
And some of them even had ribbed pants. So it would be like
Deflecting,
almost like
deflecting.
Maximilian armor, the ribs
Right.
going down.
Right.
So they would have cloth pants, but it would be steel ribs or bamboo or whatever to help block the sword.
Gotcha.
This
But,
this has been another MOT medieval supplement.
But nonetheless, Sulu, he was so quick on the draw.
Sulu
Didn't pull a communicator, ask for no help.
Sulu responded the way you're supposed to.
Sulu pulled that phaser and commenced to try to shoot it. He's trying.
Switch the settings.
He switched the settings at least 3 times.
Sulu
was like,
"What?"
I'm blowing you down.
Sulu was like-
I don't know what's going on. I don't care about the prime directive. I'm not getting hacked.
See, and I think this is another thing. This separates crew members from captains because Kirk didn't generate a challenge that he couldn't defeat. Where's Sulu? As soon as his thought shows up, he pulls the trigger a couple times, and then he runs.
But in Sulu's defense, you're running around with a phaser on your hip. You don't know it doesn't work, and you have a random samurai thought. Now when
Sulu's probably going, I wish somebody would come out and try me, and poop, there he is. I got my phaser, my trusty phaser. This is another.
You know what he was cussing? You know what he was saying under his breath?
What's that?
Damn, Kirk took my 38.
Yeah, I wouldn't have this problem if if I had an old fangled
should have imagined
combustion weapon.
He should have imagined another. He should have imagined another one.
Mm-hmm.
That's why all you fanboys that want that high fluting technology. Nothing beats a bullet.
Pray for a Glock from a rock.
That's a good T-shirt. Glock from a rock. Oh my goodness! So Sulu draws down so quick, and it doesn't work. So he has to he maneuvers and gets away from the samurai.
Yeah.
Or he runs and he runs right into Kirk.
Runs into Kirk,
trying to explain to Kirk what was going on,
and this is
samurai's not there.
And this is another thing they know, or they don't ever come out and say it, but it seems the way it works. As soon as your concentration is broken, or you interact, or
your thoughts are off.
Your thoughts are off of it. It goes away.
Well, I think it's also
Don Juan goes away.
Yeah, I think it's also a safety mechanism within the logic of creating these. Is that I think they're supposed to be personal. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to talk about them, and you're definitely not. You shouldn't be sharing them.
Right.
But after a while, when the cat is out of the bag,
right,
pun intended, then everybody can see it all together. Like when eventually everybody sees Don Juan. But I think in the beginning, it's supposed to be a personal thing. Yeah.
Right.
So Hobbs the cat is just for you.
Mm-hmm.
But so Kirk and Sulu link up.
Yep.
Oh no, you can't find it, can you? Kirk and Sulu link up, and as they're trying to figure out what's going on, and Sulu's trying to explain to the samurai, Mr. No Fun beams down. Spot.
Oh yeah.
So here's something I was thinking about, and
as soon as Sulu gets to Kirk,
Spock beams down.
Right before that, Kirk tries his phaser and finds out
his isn't working either.
His phaser doesn't work either.
So this is what I thought back then, and I thought about it today. I thought that Spock's arrival was Kirk's fantasy, because he's getting in trouble. He's trying to figure things out. And with Spock there, he's always been able to. And when there was trouble beaming down, I'm like, they're creating this. They're creating, like, I thought at some point Spock was just going to put his arm around Kirk and go,
it's okay, buddy.
It's okay, buddy. And he would realize, he was fabricated.
All right.
Yeah.
I get you.
Fake Spock.
Yeah.
Spock. Not my spot.
Not my problem.
Not my problem.
In this case, though, it is your problem because it's not your Spock.
Well, it is his spot.
Yeah.
So it is his problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but in this episode, I call Spock Mr. No Fun because when he shows up,
he starts poking holes.
All the fun stops.
Yeah, he starts poking holes in the theory.
Spock beams down, lets them know the power consumption has gotten critical and that no one can beam up. And while they're discussing that situation, they hear the tiger roar.
Right.
And Kirk makes what I think is one of his few bad command decisions.
He says, let's go find it.
Let's go find it.
Right. You just tried your phaser. You found out your phaser didn't work. Now you're going to go, let's go check the roar. Where did it come from?
Okay, guys, we have no weapons. Let's go look for the cat.
You know, it was funny. It's like in Dungeons and Dragons, you would pick the low level guy. Go check behind that door.
Chris Davis, right?
Go open that door.
Go open that door.
Roll save against random encounter.
Then take the character sheet and put it on the pile.
The geek, the geek meter just pegged. The geek.
Oh my goodness!
What do I need to roll to save? A natural 20.
All righty.
If you know what that means, we like you.
Mm.
But so yeah, So they go looking for the tiger, and they switch back to our boy McCoy and his damsel.
Man, I'm telling you.
And they're walking around. And that's when he says, you know, that's when she says she's a lady. He says that she's a lady to be defended, and he does it to himself.
Mm-hmm.
Because yon mighty knight appears on horseback.
Was that
McCoy.
all him?
I think it was him in that instance, yes. Because McCoy makes the statement, "You are a damsel to be defended."
Yeah. No, she says it's my fault. Remember later on she's crying and then he wants to slap her, but he can't.
But no, but
because she's getting hysterical and she says it's all my fault. I did it. It's my
McCoy's
fault.
McCoy's actual statement though.
No, he says, hold on. It says she's a princess that needs to be defended
by a knight or something to that effect, right?
Oh, no. McCoy says, I think I heard something. And he sort of walks off from her, leaving her at the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what goes on next.
Well, McCoy makes his statement.
Says a princess shouldn't be afraid, not with a brave knight to protect her.
Right. And a knight appears to test that theory.
Yep.
Well, he shouldn't have said a brave knight. He should have said a well-armed, well-trained knight.
So,
because bravery got him a lance in the chest.
Yeah, he did it to himself.
McCoy at this point is trying to say, okay, this stuff's not real.
Yeah, but the dress she's wearing is definitely real.
Yeah.
That's wrong thinking.
And it is, and he's trying to do some mind over matter stuff, and he steps out and steels himself against the charging knight.
And gets slaughtered.
And lucky for everyone, this is 1966, and there's some stuff you can't show on television because he gets skewered.
Yep. Even so, he shows the knight yanking the lance backwards, meaning out of his body.
And I still think that's another golden opportunity. That could have been Bugs Bunny in that armor.
Yeah.
Lancing McCoy.
So Spock pulls his phaser, Kirk pulls the pistol, and sort of hits Spock's hand. I think Spock.
3 shots.
Yep, 3 shots.
3 shots.
Takes the knight down.
So it's a 7-shooter.
Well, that's the Kirk move. Like, he had to still push Spock's useless phaser out of the way instead of just firing those 3 shots.
Yeah.
So he got it in.
Actually, he could have been wrong. Spock had just beamed down. His phaser might have had a spud or two in it.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nope.
I don't think they let you in the playground with weapons. Except what they provide.
What they provide.
So if I imagine a fully charged phaser, I get a fully charged phaser.
You would think so.
That's better than a Glock from Iraq.
I bet you they're monitoring this stuff and they don't allow certain things.
Well, we later on find out.
Is it my vacation or not?
We later
my vacation.
We later on find out that the game park controller says you guys don't really know the rules.
Right, you don't understand.
So that has to be dealt with. But as they run up, McCoy is dead, DOA, or dead according to their level of technology.
He's dead, Jim. He's dead.
And then the poor yeoman breaks down in a fit of taking responsibility for her
random thoughts. Getting Dr. McCoy killed.
Yep.
But McCoy's in a better place, as we'll find out later. He has gone on to a better world.
Yes, he has. Yes, a rabbit-filled world.
McCoy's episode.
And speaking of random, unguarded thoughts, we cut back to Rodriguez and...
you can't go there yet until Sulu finds out that the one inside the armor is...
Oh, yes. And
it's not a human.
It's not Bugs Bunny.
No.
It's not Elmer Fudd.
It's a mannequin.
Reminded me of that Twilight Zone episode. Remember that? The mannequins got to go out.
Yep.
And then when they came back to the department store, it always kept taking them back up to the level where all the mannequins were.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a mannequin.
Yeah, it's a phony synthetic person. And Spock's scans prove that everything on the planet, from the trees
Is phony.
to the night on the ground, is made of the same materials and same techniques, and everything is fake.
This is the thought you said before. Be careful what you wish for.
Right.
That would have been a great title to this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Shore leave is good.
Be careful.
Be careful what you wish for. Because some of these things, and as Spock makes mention at this, although it is Spock comes to the realization that it is our fantasies that become reality. That can have a very deadly
effect. Yes. Yeah. And, in case you needed proof, it cuts to Rodriguez and Teller. And for some reason, Rodriguez has been telling her stories of World War II fighter planes.
Yeah.
For some strange reason.
It was bad enough that I've got a
Tigers,
lion, a tiger.
It's a good thing he wasn't thinking of the Enola Gay.
Yeah, and a nuclear bomb.
I wouldn't mind singing nuclear explosion.
It's like, hey, Teller, did you ever hear about the first nuclear bomb?
You ever heard of Fat Man and Little Boy?
See, you guys keep defending Esteban, but I'm sorry. He didn't go.
That's defending him.
He didn't go for his phaser, and he's out with this lovely young lady, and all he can talk about is zeros.
Well, at first we caught that though. At first it looked like a Corsair.
It was a Corsair, but
Yeah.
then they cut to a close up of a zero.
Yeah.
They were using stock footage of some
I'm not
kind.
sure
Yeah.
that was a Corsair.
That was a Corsair.
Gull wings.
Military geek over here. Don't go against me on this.
I think it was the other.
Don't go against me on
the other
this.
plane on the aircraft carrier. Which was it?
In reality, the three pieces of footage you did see three different aircraft. There were, but when
what they were just doing? They were trying to fine tune his fantasy.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
His thoughts were rolling.
Yeah,
and when he settled on zero, he got zero.
Well, he went from an air superiority fighter to a ground attack.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
And his little lady could not run fast enough.
Well, yeah, but when you're out with it,
so when you're running for your life and she trips,
no,
don't reach back.
We're rolling back to this is my problem with Esteban.
Keep running.
You're walking around with this lovely young lady who clearly likes you. And why are you talking about, and I like World War II fighters. Nobody likes them more than me. But why are you talking about that now?
He could have been talking. It could get worse. See, this is a problem. Be careful what you ask for. Because it's your fantasy. And you could be thinking, I'm the knight who's going to protect you from the dragon.
But then there's a dragon.
And then there's a dragon. This planet is dangerous.
No. But you're out with Teller. And
but I think that's where the park ranger, whoever he is, shows up and he goes, listen, we kind of figured out you guys don't know the rules.
But Yogi, what about the ranger? But no, you're out with Teller. Can't you think of like flowers and dinner?
I think we're making an assumption about Esteban's orientation.
No, I don't. I don't think she's on him that hard without him being desiring of women himself. So I don't think he's gay, because she wouldn't be pushing so hard.
Esteban is not.
That's a gold wing.
Yeah, the gold wing is a Corsair.
That's Corsair.
Okay.
To Obi-Wan, you listen.
Okay.
But of all the things Esteban could be thinking of, he cooks up what ultimately becomes a Japanese zero, and they get strafed, and she's gone. And I blame Esteban for that 100%.
Yeah, she's done.
He could have thought of
that's where I was going with it. It wasn't so much that as his alignment was his sexual orientation, is that maybe he was just trying to figure out a way of getting her killed.
For what reason?
Because she was annoying him.
That makes Esteban a genius. That makes Esteban kind of a genius.
So as the zero flies off, and then everybody's looking up in the sky because they hear it and they see it. They turn around, and McCoy's body is gone.
And so is the paper mache knight.
And so is the knight's body.
Yep.
Yeah, and the horse.
Gone. And the horse is gone.
Yeah.
Like poof. So Kirk comes back over and he's looking around. He's like, what the heck is going on?
And now Kirk wants answers.
He wants answers. and he starts recounting the people he's seen, and then once more,
Finnegan.
Finnegan.
We see Finnegan.
Hey, Jimmy boy.
and we
I've
see-
been waiting for you.
We see Finnegan, and we begin again. Finnegan takes off running, and Kirk pursues him.
Once more, a lot of running.
A lot of running.
They run from a grassy area to a desert mountainous area.
The actor who played Finnegan never messed with me, but I wanted to beat him.
Yeah.
The way that he was provoking that hyena type laugh and throwing his hands up, it was like you just wanted to beat him to a pulp.
That's the beauty of this episode. We all have a Finnegan. We all, at some point in our life, have a Finnegan.
The guy that you just want to beat the
There's
taste out of.
somebody that just bothered you without end, or bullied you, or tormented you, or bothered you in some way. There's somebody in your past that if you could put hands on them again.
Man, Finnegan was running so fast he might as well have teleportation.
He did.
Finnegan,
He did. He was on top. Look, he's on top of a.
Well, yeah, one minute he's in the glade, then he's on top of a mountain. And Kirk's
But you
just
see,
running.
Kirk's just smiling because it's like he wants the chance.
Yeah, he's just thinking. I
That's-
can't wait to
yeah.
put my hands on.
That's
him.
that's the twisted part in all this. This is Kirk's fantasy.
Yeah, this is his relaxation.
This is all happening because Kirk wants it to,
Right.
in his subconscious mind.
Yeah.
So Kirk runs Finnegan down and catches the beating of his life.
Oh man. The only person I know who
Oh yeah,
chopped up Kirk
Tracy.
is Tracy.
Captain Tracy.
Oh,
Captain Tracy.
Tracy is just.
Oh yeah, Tracy's brutal.
Fitting we mentioned Captain Tracy. We were supposed to be talking about him tonight. Anyway.
So
Yeah.
he runs up and Kirk's like, I want to know what's going on with my people.
Earn it.
After he throws dirt in his face.
And Finnegan jumps down and just commences to beat.
He says, "You want to know what's going on, Jimmy?"
That's right.
Pow.
He commences to beat the taste out of Captain Kirk.
No one has beaten James T. Kirk like this. And,
Um,
and again, this is just because this is how Kirk pictures it.
Mm-hmm.
He pictures Finnegan being a problem.
This is fun for him.
This is fun for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't want it to be easy.
Mm.
Finnegan beats Kirk unconscious.
Finnegan pretends to have a neural injury, like he's got a spinal cord. And
Kirk
he's like,
kicks him down.
I can't feel anything. He's like, "Can you feel this?" And then he flips him onto that boulder right onto his back. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, you're an old man. Remember, that's the line.
Yeah,
I'm still 20, Jimmy, but you're an old man.
oh my God! But this is his fantasy.
We all have this
This is
person
fantasy.
in our life. This is what makes this makes this episode for me. Because there's every single person, I don't care who you are, everybody's got a Finnegan.
I don't have one. You got a Finnegan?
I
It-
had one. I outgrew the need to do.
Well,
bodily
yeah,
harm.
but if you think back some point in your life, there was somebody who was bothering you. There was somebody who was in your way. It was somebody who bullied you or whatever the case may be. And maybe you didn't resolve that the way you wanted to.
Mm.
I dealt with my Finnegan back when my Finnegan was around. But yeah, I think that's what the appeal of this is. Everybody's got a Finnegan.
Yeah, so Finnegan knocks out James T, and he's taking a long
And he
snooze.
says, "Sleep as long as you want, Jimmy.
Sleep forever.
Sleep forever."
And then Kirk wakes up, and Finnegan's still there.
And Finnegan's still
Licking
there.
his lips.
He's like, "How you feeling, Jimmy?" And Kirk tries to get up, and he tosses Finnegan down the side of the hill.
No,
and then,
first Finnegan. He says, Kirk says, I need some answers. And Finnegan throws a handful of dirt in his face and goes, earn it.
Yeah, you earn it.
But this is relaxation.
And then when, Finnegan gets thrown down the side of the hill and he fakes his back injury and he throws Kirk on the rock. And what I got out of this underneath it all is the way this is playing out. It's not enough for Kirk to beat Finnegan. He wants Finnegan to respect him. Because there's a moment moment where Finnegan stops and goes, "All right,
Yeah.
all right."
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, he wants. It's not the fight. He wants Finnegan's respect after all these years.
Because I think Finnegan says something like "not bad" or
Not
something.
bad. Yeah, he says, "All right, Jim, not bad,
Yeah.
not bad."
Yeah.
And then Kirk gets up and beats him up after taking a vicious beating.
And then Spock shows up and goes, "Did you enjoy that?"
Kirk's like, "Yep."
Yeah.
But Kirk has to think about it though. He stops for a second and really thinks about it.
Yeah.
He goes, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel better.
I feel good. Yeah.
I feel better. I took out my frustrations on Finnegan.
I got my Finnegan off my chest.
Got that monkey off your back.
Got the monkey off your back."
Oh my goodness!
And then they're trying to figure out what's going on, and the wise old man shows up.
Well, and Finnegan says, kind of makes up for things, doesn't it, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, "Yeah, it does."
No, Kirk's still what's happening to my people. Kirk's
Right.
still focused.
He wants to know what's going on.
He's gone to Finnegan because that's the one he knows out of those things that were created.
He can have answers.
He can actually talk to a person as
Right.
he knows. And Finnegan is the focal point. He doesn't think about going to Ruth and getting the information.
Which
He thinks
probably
of-
could have been easier.
He thinks about Finnegan, that he can beat the information out of Finnegan.
I think Kirk's priorities are screwed up. But
Well, he's tired. So, huge smile on his face. And then Spock asks the question,
did you enjoy that?
did you enjoy it?
Kirk holds him up for about 5 seconds, and Finnegan's on his way out. I think all he had to do was let him go, and he would have fallen.
Yeah.
But Kirk gets this smile on his face and just
Nails him.
nails him.
Self-satisfaction.
And then Spock says, "Did you enjoy that?"
But
Kirk didn't shy away from it. Yes,
but what
I did.
I didn't remember about this is, I mean, I always remember this like a severe beating, but he beat Kirk unconscious.
Oh, yeah, he did.
And that's what got me. Is
Yeah,
like,
he did.
He's out.
Yeah.
He's out. Nobody's beating
Yeah.
Kirk like that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Finnegan hung him out to dry.
You know, it would have been a good fight? Finnegan and Tracy. Captain Tracy.
Tracy would have beat Finnegan.
Yeah, Tracy would have beat.
Tracy's a monster.
So as we're talking about you letting people know of your fantasy, on the way back, Spock and Kirk are making their way back to the rest of the group,
Right.
and they run into
The tiger.
the tiger, the airplane,
The plane.
the samurai.
The samurai.
Yeah, and the subtitle, when they ran past the samurai, it went, "Oof."
Yeah, Kirk just shoulder
blocks
blasted
it.
Shoulda blast.
and Spock runs him down, runs over him. You know, the samurai wasn't even a hot meal. They went through him so quick. But those fantasies that other people had
Right.
now are in their minds.
Right.
And as they're making
Right.
their way back to the group, these things are appearing. And
But it seems like what happens is, once again, this could be exposition that I'm creating because the writing is good and you can write. You can write along
extrapolate.
with them. You don't know anything else.
Right.
But I think once your fantasy involves enough people that somehow they end it. Either you're going to die or that thing that's coming after, because it becomes too complex, right? It becomes exponentially complex at some point. And it just seems like they end that storyline.
I think they did it because they figured out, hold on, these people don't know what they're doing.
That's
It
true
be-
too.
Yeah, they began to figure. I think the caretakers began to figure that out.
They don't know the rules here.
And there also seems to be a thing of kind of getting into what Jim's talking about. There seems to be a thing of when you begin to interact with somebody else's fantasy, it's weakened.
Right.
Like the samurai that was a deadly threat to Sulu was body checked
Right.
and moved out of the way by Kirk.
It almost
and Spock.
doesn't know how it's supposed to react with the other other people.
The zero doesn't strafe Kirk and Spock. It just flies over them.
So as they're coming back together,
It strafes them.
Oh yeah, it
It's-
does
it's-
try.
yeah,
It does
yeah,
try.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
move.
so
yeah.
as the group starts to come back together, we see Yeoman Barrows once again has problems with.
Don Juan
Don Juan.
appears.
Now Yeoman Barrow has a uniform back. I don't know if the uniform was recreated by the planet.
No, the tear moved from her right shoulder.
Well, it
to
could be
the
a new
back.
tear. I agree with you. I think that.
So they might have provided her a new uniform.
yeah.
When she hung it on the tree?
When she hung it on the tree, she thought about it. I want my uniform back. Boom. They
Right.
create her a new one.
Yeah.
And then Don Juan came and she gets torn in a different spot.
Yeah.
I think you're making excuses for a
yes,
prop error.
yes.
I like that excuse.
Yes,
though.
I am.
Yeah, it's acceptable.
Yeah.
That's my excuse for
But
the prop
I
error.
can't have a fully charged phaser.
But once again, Yeoman has thought up Don Juan, or the original Don Juan she thought up was still hanging
I
around.
think it's assigned to your fantasy is assigned to you,
right?
And until you deal with it or somebody else gets involved, you're stuck with it. That tiger was hanging around.
Yep.
So,
and that was a real tiger.
Yeah, that was a real tiger. You saw the chain; they had it chained up.
Yeah,
he got it from the San Diego Zoo. So
Don Juan appears, and McCoy and Esteban are getting ready to have at him.
Did Teller show back up?
Eventually.
No. Yes, eventually.
She was at the end?
Yep.
She didn't get the grand entrance that our boy McCoy got.
All right, I didn't notice if she came back.
She came back. She was just kind of suddenly there.
She came back in full life. And she's once.
What was the episode where you died? You brought back to life.
Day of the Dove.
Day of the Dove.
Day of the Dove. Yeah.
We have to do that one.
Yeah.
But that one's kind of a weird one. But
no, it's once more a out of body entity that has powers that draw its energy
from fear,
off of emotion,
most mainly fear and anger.
So it's like Pennywise in space.
That episode would have been better if it was a clown. No, instead of a light in this corner.
But there's several entities like that in Star Trek. But
did we mention Star Trek is dangerous?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Tim Allen did when they did what was a Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
Didn't you ever watch the show? You going out there? Oh, aren't they so cute? Whoa. You didn't watch. You didn't actually watch a full episode.
So
no, our shirts are red, right?
Hey! Some red shirts come back.
Are we doing episode 29? Because I died in episode 29.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So yeah, Don Juan reappears, and they're getting ready to try to square off with him. But now Kirk thinks he's got it figured out, and he demands that everyone is front and center attention. He's going to tell them to clear their minds.
Well, Sulu was going to chase Don Juan until Kirk stopped him.
Sulu and Esteban are getting ready to take him on, and he's got a sword. But that's when Kirk stops everybody.
Right. He puts the end to the games.
Yes.
The games are over.
Well, he shows up with Mr. No Fun.
That's right.
Spock's like, I'm not on board with fun this episode.
And then we get the caretaker.
And we get the friendly old man who says, I'm the caretaker and you guys are morons. And once again,
Kirk starts out, don't talk, don't breathe,
don't breathe,
think.
clear your mind. Yes. Attention.
I almost thought that Spock was going to have to go and mind meld everybody to get them a blank mind. You know what I mean? Say, take away your thoughts.
Yeah. Remember the empath episode where it was McCoy, Kirk, and Spock, and their fear, their anger generated the power for the force field.
Right.
So you had to try to not think about that, and
what if
Spock was unable
to do it? What if Spock had randomly thought about Tuprang? Been AMOC.
Is this before or after?
Been AMOC time.
I think I saw a Lurpa leaning it against the tree.
Was AMOC after this episode? Was AMOC before?
AMOC was
season 2.
AMOC was season 2. This is pre.
Right.
This is pre Ponfar.
He couldn't think of Dupree.
He knew her.
Yeah, but he didn't know she was a.
Oh, he knew her.
He didn't know she was a ooh-wee.
He knew her. He knew her. They were exchanging pictures.
So basically, the caretaker says, "Listen, we're super intelligent. You're not.
You're not." Once again, they fall victim to an Uber race that has left their toys laying around.
And then Kirk say something like, "Can you tell us what's going on?" He goes, "No, not really."
No, they didn't leave it around. The planet was designed for their people.
Yes,
but they're not there
to come and enjoy. He didn't say that people didn't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
It said the planet was designed for their people to come and enjoy. And you are a limited race. So Sulu was like, well, you're still playing? And Kirk goes,
greater the intellect.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm the captain. I need some relax. The greater the intellect, the greater the play.
Need for diversion. Yes.
So we see now in the technological advancements we have 3D games, we have remote control this, remote control that. We have all these venues to play.
I don't know if that's greater intellect though.
Well, bread and circuses, we're not watching people hack each other in the arena.
Yeah.
You never seen Monday Night Football?
Well, those guys get up after they're hit.
Do they?
They're not getting thumbs down by the audience and the emperor killing them.
You haven't seen 2021 rules yet. But
2021 rules, the game becomes softer.
Yeah, I know. That's another discussion. Disappointment. The disappointment of the lack of carnage in professional sports.
So I was a little bit kind of shocked when the reveal came, and then Kirk's like, "Go ahead, everybody, beam on down." You know, I thought he would say, but just be a little cautious.
Well, from the conversation you get with the caretaker, essentially you get the idea that they're going to tweak it for these lesser beings.
I got
so people don't get in trouble.
But before we get there, the caretaker comes out and starts to explain this is all fun.
Right.
And Kirk gets upset.
My
and goes,
crew is dead.
Hold on, I've lost people.
And McCoy says, "No, you haven't."
They say, "I lost people." And
No,
McCoy
you
goes,
haven't.
"Ain't nobody died, Jimmy.
Everything's fine.
Died, Jimmy. Everything's
I've gone
fine."
to a better place.
He's got a bunny on each arm.
Well, at first he goes, "They got a factory down there that can fix anything. Including me."
And McCoy has hot and cold running bunnies.
With Barrow standing right in front of him.
Well, Beryl, when everybody turns, because they're all lined up in like a parade stance, and Beryl turns and looks, and her
she's
face,
like, "What is this?"
Her face starts to change. She's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa,
She's
whoa,
not
whoa.
happy.
Whoa, I thought I had the doctor to myself.
She's not happy.
Now he's got a bunny on each arm."
And I love McCoy's response because he's unrepentant.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah.
She rolls up on him and goes, "What is this?" And he's like, "Well, I got to thinking about this little spot.
I'm Rigel too.
Oh, Rigel too, and there were these two girls, and well, here you go." And McCoy, there's no "I'm sorry" in it.
McCoy,
He's a horn dog.
McCoy is just back from the grave.
And he's
And
happy.
his first thing is thinking about two showgirls from Rigel too.
No, that just proves
Not a cup of coffee.
there is an afterlife.
She loved him up and turned him into
He's
a
a horny
horny toad.
If you know that reference, put that in the comments.
Oh my!
There is an
goodness.
afterlife, and it comes with pink and yellow bunnies.
Yeah. So then McCoy does the gentlemanly thing, and he hands one bunny to Sulu.
And one goes to Spock.
And one goes to Spock, and Spock almost kind of like,
Spock looks like
he almost smiles. He's like, thank you.
Spock's thinking about it.
Hmm.
And then without any fanfare at all, Teller's just kind of magically back standing next to Esteban.
Yep. So the caretaker starts to really explain it all.
Right.
That this is set up for his race.
And they set the machine to stupid.
Yeah, we didn't mean for anybody to get hurt. We fixed everybody's wounds. We resurrected McCoy. Maybe this was a Q planet or something.
Maybe.
Yeah. And I'm wondering I think it's probably part of the game for them that they could be killed, but they would be prepared.
Sure.
So,
I mean, once you have that understanding, I mean, isn't that like the ultimate thing? You can like fully engage in your
Right.
No, it's the pain, baby. It's the pain. Sorry.
Yeah, he felt that.
Sorry.
He felt that.
Yeah, that hurt a lot.
You know a lot about that from paintball.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Did it feel fun to be shot with that frozen paintball?
No, not so much.
You were
still
oohing and ahhing the whole day.
Still got that scar. It was a long time ago. Still got that scar.
But like I said, we play.
Right.
And the greater our technological advancements are, the greater our play becomes. Because now you get into 3D racing, and you got a whole racing console and chair and 3D flying with the helmet, and you got all the sticks and all the stuff, and some people got a chair that moves.
Sitting at the helm of a 3D starship.
And everything.
Firing phasers.
We're trying to get to this level, but this level is not accessible or doable by us.
And probably for the best, I think. I don't know if the pleasure planet can be set properly.
So Spock says, I'm going to head back up. And Kirk goes, no, I'm going to head up too. And then Ruth comes strolling along.
With her theme music.
The theme music. And Kirk goes, I think I'll stay a day or two or a week.
Yeah.
And enjoy some Ruth.
And Spock gets the ship to himself, apparently, because everybody beams down.
Mm-hmm.
Ruth Crisp. I'm enjoying me some steak.
Yeah, something like that. So then they blow by what appears to be some time, and you see a ship full of smiling individuals.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's cheesing it.
They done had their R&R.
Everybody's glowing and relaxed.
They had their R&R.
R&R has been had by all. Everybody's happy.
Unfortunately, this is the only episode we get Yeoman Barrow in.
Yeah.
I wonder if she was an actress, a star, or upcoming actress in that day, and they put her in, because I know she's listed in the credits as a guest star.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, after they kind of moved out Yeoman Rand, you kind of have the Yeoman of the Week. I mean, when they bother to show one, it's just always somebody different.
It's not Yeoman of the Week, it's Ooh-wee of the Week.
Not always. It's a matter of opinion. That's subjective.
Okay.
Esteban could have been somebody's ooh-wee this week.
And that is that's shore leave.
That's shore leave.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shore leave.
The Admiral over here said it was his ooh-wee.
Captain.
Yeah, excuse me. Captain.
Yes.
Yeah,
Captain Palpatine said that
Barrow
was his ooh-wee.
Yeah. And ooh-wee is in the eye of the beholder.
But that is shore leave.
Shore leave.
Yeah.
Vacation's over.
Vacation's over.
Back to work.
Holodeck gone awry.
and that will continue. The whole thing's just a bad idea. You can't help but to get in trouble.
The idea is a good idea, but there's no way to properly do it without
serious limitations.
Serious potential damages.
Yeah. And there's got to be some kind of rule about you can't have somebody that really exists in the holodeck.
Yeah, Geordi,
you perv.
Can't be
you creep.
He even downloaded the chick's personnel file.
He did.
Into the computer.
He's totally stalked her. He stalked her. It's really
But it's not the real person. How can you say he stalked her?
She didn't feel that way.
Well, it doesn't matter what she feels. What's the matter is what's legal.
Should have been the end of Geordi's career.
It's about what's legal. It's about what's legal.
Clearly, Starfleet had gotten lax in 85 years. Geordi would have swung for that back in the day.
I don't know.
Swung.
I don't know.
He'd have been fixing toilets on a garbage scow, headed for Alpha Centauri.
But that is shore leave.
Shore leave.
It's an interesting concept.
It is.
Of be careful what you wish for.
Right.
A planet that will provide you anything you want.
Well, even in the context, isn't it true? I mean, we like Star Trek. It's a great fantasy, but there's a whole lot of danger and death in it. And do you really want to be in the middle of that? I mean, a lot of the things people fantasize about and daydream about is not safe.
Yeah, that's true. That's what's so good about the Galaxy Quest ripoff, or should I say parody. That one statement. Did you ever really watch the show? Because this is not a pleasant journey.
Yeah.
This is not going to turn out like you think.
It's danger.
It's right.
It's just facing danger and adversity.
Right. So when the one character guy has his breakdown, when he's afraid that this is the episode he dies, you start to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, but who hasn't imagined being, like you said, you imagine you're a knight and there's a dragon.
Yeah.
Looks good on paper.
That's why D&D is such a great game.
Yeah. Says you.
Well, you're not the one being hacked.
That's good.
You're standing up with some dice in your hand, rolling it, and go tell somebody else to take 20.
Yeah.
He's not really taking the damage. It's the fantasy.
As it should be, yeah.
But on this planet, that fantasy becomes reality. Someone said, well, it won't be that bad. Well, you don't know the pain McCoy felt when he got stabbed.
Oh, I do. He hollered. He yelped real good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He demonstrated that lance hurt.
And when the other yeoman the ensign was running, she didn't scream at all.
No.
She fell over dead.
Yeah, well, 30 caliber rounds stitched up the back, not much to say about that.
Yeah.
This is a Star Trek episode. Once again, we have excellent writing, and we have that opportunity to look at it and to evaluate it.
Yeah.
Well, it's another Men on Trek episode in the bag, gentlemen.
Is there any final thoughts from the fellow captain and admiral?
No, I
I
just
think it's a wrap.
yeah.
I think we finish on Be Careful What You Wish For.
That's right. Not my Spock, not my problem.
Not my Spock, not my
And are you sure it's your Spock or not? All right. Until next time, hit like and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time. So we are out of here.